Hello, welcome or welcome back if you're new here. Today's video, we're going to be talking through all the books I have on my fall TBR. I've got a nice drink here. It's my version of a green tea lemonade. I'm going to put that over here though so I don't spill it because it's insanely full. But today we're going to be talking through my fall TBR. These are all the books that I'm hoping to get to. There's more that I could get to, but I wanted to keep the list brief. And also, if you're new here, I am a mood reader. So while I say these are on my TBR, these are what I hope to get to. Doesn't really mean I will get to all of them. I don't want to hold myself to a strict TBR, otherwise I will not read it at all. But these are just 8 books that I'm hoping I will get to, and I have all the intentions of getting to. So let's just get into the video. So I'm just gonna start from the top. And if you also want to leave a comment down below, either telling me which one of these you would want me to prioritize, if any, if you think some that I really like or you just want to see me read it and review it, let me know. And then also just tell me what you're reading down in the comments below. I love seeing what people are reading for fall. Fall, if you don't know, is my favorite season, and so I always love getting into the vibes, especially with reading in the fall. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So the first book I have is actually a recent pickup, and that's why I want to get to it. I find that when I read books right away after I picked them up is when like I'm the most excited about them, the most time I want to get into them, and so they have the best chance of really wowing me. And so I picked up The Children of Gods and Fighting Men by Shauna Lawless. This is a series, and from what I understand, it is set in 981 AD, and we're following the Viking King of Dublin. Actually, I think we're following his wife, and it has to do with like immortal beings, and the wife of the king is like an immortal being, and she's hiding her powers, and she has to start fighting other gods or something like that because she's hiding her powers. She can't like reveal it, and so it's a lot of politics. But I really like a historical fantasy, and I love anything like Irish setting, so I'm hoping I really love this. It also says that the author herself is an Irish woman, and she lives in Northern Ireland, so I'm really excited about this because I also feel like sometimes you get Irish or Scottish kind of books, and a lot of times the authors themselves are not from that area, so I'm really excited to read from someone who is actually from Ireland and their perspective on the history. And I just think it sounds really, really good, and it's a series, so you know I love a series, and I have yet to be finishing series that I started, but I'm gonna start new ones. So that's the first book on my list. The next one has been a library hold that keeps renewing, so there's no wait line, so I'm always just like have it in my to-go audiobooks, and it just keeps renewing. But I'm hopefully going to get to it because I am really excited about it. It's just that other holds come available, and then I don't, like, I need to prioritize them because they actually have a wait. But that is The Pomegranate Gate by Ariel Kaplan. This is also historical historical fantasy, and it's set in the Inquisition era, and we're following 2 Jewish characters as they flee. I want to say they're fleeing from Spain to other places. I'm not exactly sure, but one of the characters, she gets whisked into like a alternative world where there's magic and things like that, and then the other character is trying to help find her, and I think he has to team up with her mother or something to find her. And I love like a world within a world, like a world adjacent to ours that we don't know about. Sorry if you can hear that. Pippi is having a fun time over there. That is something I really enjoy in books, and I think I'm gonna really like this. Again, it's another series, so I can binge it. I think there's 2 or 3 books out in this series, and I want to say it's a trilogy, so it might have been completed, but I'm not sure. But it's really chunky, so I know I'll have a lot to get to, but for some reason this really reminds me of City of Brass, and I love City of Brass, so I'm hoping that this gives me similar energy. And then I know that I'm going to want to get a spooky books in the spooky season, so probably October for this one, is The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson. I read We Have Always Lived in the Castle by Shirley Jackson, and it's one of my favorite like classic horrors. I found it so creepy when I read it, and I've never seen the movies, nor will I, because I don't like scary movies, but I do want to get to this because I think that her writing is really good. It gives me like gothic atmosphere, and I really don't know anything about this except for that it's a haunted house, and that told me. It literally doesn't even have anything in the flaps, so I think people are like, you just know what you're getting into with this. So, but yeah, so it's a haunted house, and I'm gonna read it and hopefully not be scared out of my mind, because she just has a way of writing that's so eerie. Even when like nothing is really happening, it just seems so scary. So I will be getting to that, and then also I will be getting to Dungeon Crawler Carl. I have this on audiobook via my sister-in-law. I have her app that I can log into and listen to. And her and my husband have read it and really liked it. Plus, this has taken the internet by storm, so I just have to know what is going on with this book. It is, from my understanding, a lit RPG book where we're following Carl and a cat called Princess Donut, who's like his ex-girlfriend's cat. And it's the end of the world, and I guess the aliens or something, I don't know, take over, and they say, like, you can either go underground and do this dungeon crawl and survive and get out, or you can stay up here and die, and because the world is ending. And he chooses to go into the dungeon and do the dungeon crawl, and it's based off of like a dungeon crawl, is that what they're called? A dungeon crawler video game. My husband's really into them. He likes like Binding of Isaac, which if you've ever seen, really grosses me out. I cannot watch him play that game. It's too gross. But it reminds me of that, and I guess it's like full of humor and stuff like that. And then it's I want to say like at least 7 books in the series, so if I like it, I can really binge it. But I've heard audiobooks the way to go, so I definitely will be listening to this on audio. But I did pick up the hardback because my husband really liked it, so we're going to slowly collect the series because he did really enjoy it, and I have a feeling I will too. This one, don't hold me to this, okay? But this one is Emily Wilde's Compendium of Lost Tales. It's the last one in the Emily Wilde series. I need to read this. I want to read this so bad. But I am just so scared of ending the series. Not scared, but like I just don't want it to end, that I keep putting it off. It's like my favorite series of fantasy, historical fantasy, all that. It's my favorite series. And so to know that this is the last book just really makes me not want to pick it up. If you don't know, it's about a fairy researcher, Emily, who she goes to this region and she's learning about the fairies. She's writing her encyclopedia, that's the word, of fairies. And she's joined by her colleague, Wendell, who she finds annoying at first, and they get in some fairy shenanigans, and this is wrapping up the series in a way that I'm just know I'm gonna love it, but I think I just don't want it to end. So I'm hopefully gonna get to this because fall time, I think one is a great time to read it. Spring or fall would be the best time to read it, but Heather Fawcett, the author, just announced that she's releasing a book in February, and it's set in 1920s, historical cozy fantasy. There's also a romance, and she owns a cat shelter, and the cover has so many cats. It's great. I'll put it up here. Love it. So I'm gonna have to read that, and so I want to have this read before I read that because I think it's just good to give myself like a time constraint on this. Otherwise I might never finish my favorite series. So that's Emily Wilde. Now this is another finish to a series. It's Lachlan's by Robert Jackson Bennett. When I have been away from booktube for a while, I read the Tainted Cup by Robert Jackson Bennett, and then I read the second one, A Drop of Corruption. Really enjoyed it, and I really enjoyed his writing. So I picked up Foundry Side, and I really liked it, and I really liked the second one, so this is the third. I won't say it's my favorite series, but it's definitely like a good 4-star series, and this is wrapping up the trilogy. So we're kind of following a thief named Sanchia, who is tasked with stealing this object, but she doesn't really know what it is. She's just supposed to do it, and she ends up getting in a lot of trouble, as heists are known to go wrong. And it sets off this chain of events where she starts to realize more about the magic and the way the world works, and has to kind of save the day. And it has a very unexpected found family element that I really like. It's got multiple perspectives, and it's got a almost like animal companion type thing. I don't think it's in the synopsis of the first one, so I don't want to give it away, but something that she encounters is able to like speak, and it's really fun, and I really like that. And it has a lot about like technology. It's very like science forward, even though the magic is like tied into the way that the world works. So like they can imbue magic into objects, and I found that really fun and interesting. So I'm excited to wrap this up, but I am annoyed that they made this last book one taller than the other two, and the other two have stripes here, and you couldn't have just continued the stripe. Like I'm not usually one who's stickler for books matching, but like this just feels like an obvious mess up because they kept this the same. So like I'm just confused. So that's my personal gripe with this book, but I'm excited to get to it, and it would finish out a series, which is great. So then I have 2 more. I have Buffalo Hunter Hunter by Stephen Graham Jones. This is a historical horror, and I've yet to give Stephen Graham Jones a 5-star, but I'm hoping that this will be the one because I love a historical horror. And this is I don't really know much, except for I know that it's in Montana and it's set in 1912 and there's a massacre. And it says this is an American Indian revenge story captured in the vivid voices of the time. So I'm just very excited because I do always love his premises and execution. It's just sometimes his writing style isn't for me, but I've heard that this is a different writing style than what he normally goes for. So I feel like he could make me love him through historical horror. And I think that the fall time is a perfect time to read this because it'll be perfectly spooky. I really like his horror elements. Again, it's just the writing. Like I like The Only Good Indians. I really liked it. Just the writing kept me from like really loving it. So I'm hoping this is my first 5-star Stephen Graham Jones. And I know he's like a very beloved author. So if he works for you more than me, I'm so happy for you because I want to be on the hype train. Then the final book is one of my most anticipated releases of the year, and that's The Possession of Alba Diaz by Isabel Cañas. She has written 2 of my favorite books, The Vampires of El Norte and The Hacienda. Both are technically horror, though I would say The Vampires of El Norte lean more like historical romance. Like there is vampires sprinkled in, but some people argue it's not horror enough. I personally love that combination. So this is another historical horror where I think we have a girl who's getting possessed, and it's set in Mexico in 1765. And I just really love her writing. Like I really don't even need to know what the book's about. I'm just picking them up. She's an autobiography author at this point. But it does say when a demonic presence awakens deep in a Mexican silver mine, the young woman it seizes must turn to one man she shouldn't trust. Sign me up. Like this will be read. And if it's not, then I don't know. I can't make videos anymore. Okay. These are all the books. I hope to read them in the fall. I would love throwing things. I would love to hear what you plan to read this fall, and just leave me any comments down below about what you want me to read. Like I said before, I would love to get to some things, or if you think there are ones that I'm really going to love that I should prioritize, please let me know. And then also, if you made it to the end of the video, if you want to leave a fall emoji down below, just to say you made it to the end if you have nothing else to say, I would love that. And thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.